Merry Christmas once again, and Tony here with yet another tribute to another Aqua Teen Hunger Force holiday special. And I basically use this term loosely because even though there were some mentions of Christmas in the episode, it's not really a holiday special per se, even though it has it in the title. It is none other than star-studded Xmas Spectacular, also originally known as Deleted Scenes, which premiered on Adult Swim on December 2005. Now, I say this is not really a Christmas special because even though Carl and Master Shake do mention something akin to Christmas, such as Carl talking to his mom that he'll end up spending the holidays with her, and that with Shake, he says that the final scene he wanted to show is an early Christmas gift to his viewers. It's basically a deleted scene clip show of the scenes that Master Shake directed as his very own special movie. And it does start off like any other typical episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, with Carl talking to his mom and even having his new car complete with hypnotic rims so that he will manage to attract the attention of a lot of girls, only for it to be plundered by my most favorite recurring characters of all time, the Moonanites, and basically turning the hypnotic rims into their own advantage to fit their particular automobile. And as I stated before, the Moonanites really make this episode. However, it's not just them, but also their rivals, the Plutonians, and of course, our good old friend, the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past from the future, who manages to appear in a few scenes. Suffice to say, I always enjoyed the Moonanites' presence because ever since I first watched them when I was a 10-year-old boy in their debut episode, Mayhem of the Moonanites, I was completely floored with how oddly likable they were, even though they're supposed to come off as such jackasses, with Ignignot coming off as the more posh and more composed and more articulate of the two, and with being a lot more hyperactive and more crass and rude. So I really do enjoy their interpersonal chemistry, and one has to give mad props to Dave Willis and Matt Maialaro for doing such a great job embodying these two wonderfully diabolical and absolutely hilarious aliens. So the Moonanites managed to use those hypnotic rims to their advantage, even hypnotizing poor Carl into shoving up a broomstick up his butthole and making him do all of these weird things, and even asking him of where the component for this exercise machine called the Insanoflex is, thus making him steal the chip and give it to the Moonanites while still doing all of these crazy things. And interspersed with that is some commentary made by Master Shake as to how much he enjoyed shooting that scene, or basically talking about himself of how great he was in that particular scene, or how great the particular cut was, with Meatwad rolling the footage so that we, the viewers, can see what has actually happened in that particular scene. And speaking of what happened to Carl, he even ends up still having that broomstick up his butthole, but with his pants on this time, and saying that he still was really pissed at Master Shake for making him do that, even though Shake tried to convince him that the people behind the special effects just wanted a 3D one, but they ended up scrapping that idea, saying that Carl should do it for real, which I thought was hilarious in a darkly humorous way. On top of that, once Carl ends up getting healed from his overall hypnosis, it's then Frylock's turn to use that particular hypnotic rim so that he can hypnotize the Moonanites into asking them how he can dismantle those particular objects. And the Moonanites being hypnotized was also just as hilarious, as usually you might think that they're above this, but the fact that they managed to be outsmarted by Frylock was really, really fun. And even as Frylock was about to use it on Shake, you might think that he might end up getting hypnotized, but he just ends up being completely immune to that, which did leave me rather surprised that he was immune to that particular thing. So I was quite floored. At that particular scene. Not to mention those little segments with Meatwad and his scenes playing with his makeshift toys in the credits was really cute. And the ending where Shake ends up getting threatened by Carl with a shotgun was quite a cathartic ending because Master Shake is definitely a character that I kind of enjoy hating on because of his personality, but it's the type of hate that makes him rather charming in a sort of douchebaggy way. Nevertheless, it was really fun seeing Master Shake in all of his jerk glory, just commentating on each and every scene. And of course, that final scene in which he was supposed to end up getting hitched by a blonde girl and eat that expensive ham, only to end up getting slapped before the credits roll, was pretty fun to witness. And here's something really interesting about this particular episode. This episode was actually one of the first 22-minute Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes, even though for broadcasting standards, it ended up being split into two parts. So overall, star-studded Xmas Spectacular may not be too Christmassy in a traditional sense, nor did it have a lot of Christmassy elements on there, but it compensates for it in terms of its signature dark humor, the Mooninites, the Plutonians, and the cybernetic ghost of Christmas past from the future stealing the show, especially where the Mooninites are concerned, and of course, Master Shake's completely irreverent and absolutely fun commentary on each and every scene that was shot. I was really amused with what I managed to get from this particular holiday special. And for those of you who have watched Star-Studded Xmas Spectacular, what'd you think of it? Did you really enjoy Master Shake's commentary on each of the deleted scenes that he managed to show? Was there a favorite scene that you really liked? And did you also love the Mooninites, Plutonians, and cybernetic ghosts of Christmas past from the future's presence? Or was there a scene that you didn't really particularly care for? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in for the final Aqua Teen Hunger Force Christmas special, a PE Christmas. So until then, Merry Christmas, everybody.